Okay, so I'm with Becky from the Pilcrow Pub. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You are kind of chief beer wrangler for the Pilcrow summer beer thing, aren't you?
Yeah.
In amongst many other roles that you occupy here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd go with that.
Okay, so talk us through the summer beer thing. Where did the original idea come about?
When this place was first getting taken over by Johnny Hayes, who runs Common, Port Street and Beagle, and Paul Jones, who's co-founder of Cloudwater, it was always brought up in conversation that they wanted to do a festival in the square, and it was something that kind of was a bit of a goal for them. They were just like, if we're going to take this place on, this is something that we want to do. And then when we got this place up and running, we got Oddie, our general manager, and then myself, assistant manager for the Pilcrow, and it just started making it into a bit of a reality. We started going, we'll do something in summer, with Indie Man being a bit more autumn area, like September this year, October time. They're like, let's do like a bit more of a summer beer festival. And we just started cracking. We've got a project manager, Lou, who also does Indie Man, so we've had a lot of help from that area. And how the actual name came about is we were just sat in the meeting, we were like, what are we going to call this beer festival? And he went, summer beer thing? And we all just went,
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Absolutely
that sounds
brilliant.
great.
Yeah.
And it's caught on. So
Yeah.
that's how it's come about originally.
So how have you gone about? Because over the course of the 3 days that it's running,
Yeah.
you've got a lot of beer pouring. And I've got to say, kudos as well for having a very, very clear beer list that you guys have published in terms of what's on now, what's coming next, and then what's after
Yeah.
that. And I'm guessing if you get to the point where you get to that third column, there's nothing else after that if all the beer runs out.
We've got a few tricks up our sleeves, but...
How did you go about selecting the beers that you wanted to feature at the festival?
Well, first of all, I looked at mainly breweries first. I know that we're not doing bars by brewery, but I kind of looked at breweries first to be like, who do we want to get down? Who have we worked with already in the Pilcrow bar itself? Who we want to get involved? Who have we got good relationships with already? That's how I kind of started it off. We did like a brewery list, and after we did the brewery list, that's when I kind of said to the breweries, right, we want you involved. What sort of stuff do you want to bring? Like, there's stuff that we need certain styles, doing style bars, but what do you want to showcase? And then taking it from there, kind of slotting them into the different style bars. There were a few beers I was a bit like, I'd love to have that, but we've just got too many, especially too many fruit and sours.
Yeah.
There was loads more that we could have had, but I was a bit like, I'm so sorry, we just can't take any more. But that's pretty much how we started off. And then kind of like my brief was, we want 230 different kegs of beers. And that was it.
That's a lot of beer, isn't it? That's a lot of different beer.
When it all came together, I was a bit like, we've done it. It was just overnight that suddenly I just looked at my tally and I was like, perfect, well, tick, done.
And was it important for you to have a good selection of local beers on as well?
That's where we should have mentioned that earlier. That's where we started off. We were looking around Manchester first. So you've got, obviously, with Paul Jones being one of our co-directors, we have a Cloudwater bar solely in the corner for Cloudwater. But we're also looking at Track. I find Track brilliant. I find that they don't get half as much credit as what they deserve. I really like them as a brewery.
I'm not going to argue with you on that one. I'm a massive fan of, and I've gone on record many times to say that I think Sonoma, for its ABV, is probably the best beer in the UK right now.
It's just so packed full of flavour.
Yeah.
It's just such like 3.8, 3.9.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's insane.
And being from the south, never get to see Track beers.
Really?
Yeah, so coming up here, I'm like the proverbial pig in shit when I see their beers on tap.
Yeah, that's the first Manchester brewery that I kind of just automatically came to mind. I was just like, and we do have a good relationship with them as well, so we were just like, right, tick, that's you first. So Manchester, then further afield, so Leeds, Liverpool, so a couple that come to mind like Mad Hatter, just because they do crazy beers. Like they've done the Grenadini, I think that came out this week, which is now, I think it's on right now actually. And then we've got like Northern Monk, Ilkley North from Leeds area. And it's kind of, we were thinking it was going to be a lot smaller, and then the more that we were kind of like, right, we need so many kegs, we're like, we just have to go further and further afield. And that's when it started getting international people involved. For example, Dougie, I think that's how you say it. I did have a woman who said that's how you say it, but I'm not too sure, so apologies if I've got that wrong. But yeah, we had a tap takeover with them quite late last year. So when Johnny was like, let's get some international people involved, I was like, well, they came over for the tap takeover, they've met us, so I was like, hopefully, fingers crossed, and it works. The barrel aged anagram is in there as we speak, so that's me absolutely
and
ecstatic.
it's here in my glass.
Yes, it's in front of us
as well. It's a 14% barrel aged cheesecake, blueberry cheesecake stout, which is just incredible.
It's phenomenal.
I'm having to take it really slowly as well.
It doesn't taste like 14%.
It doesn't taste like 14%.
Like,
it's like dessert in a glass.
Yeah. When we had it for the tap takeover, like me and Oddie, our general manager, finished early, and you just don't realise until you're like, oh, I finished that. You need to stop. But yeah, we've got a few more from them as well. Some more international. We got the Firestone Barrel Works. Can't believe that slipped my mind. That was an absolute godsend. Our friends from Vertical were just like, these are first pour in the UK. Like, these have not been poured anywhere else before. And we just like jumped on it. We were just like, yes, we are having
really
them.
Exclusive, that.
Yes, and there's one on now on the sour bar, and that's just going to be the Firestone tap. So we're just going to keep on changing them over until they're gone. So yeah, really excited about that.
So you must have been quite pleased by the response to it, because it's
really happy.
Kind of a 3-day festival at the end of what's been, by all accounts, an incredible Manchester Beer Week.
Yeah, it's been really
as
good.
Well. How things like ticket sales and that, have you sold out any sessions? Are you near to capacity on any sessions?
I think the Saturday is the one that we're looking at that's going to be a blowout, you could say. I think we're going to be incredibly busy tomorrow. We can wish to sell out because we're kind of pushing on the door sales as well, like because it's Manchester Beer Week and obviously there's a lot of ticketed events going on. We kind of want to make this a bit more relaxed, and you can be like, yeah, you can get a ticket, or you can just rock up and just buy a ticket on the door. Like Pilcrow is still open just for normal business, so there's a lot of flexibility with it.
Yeah.
But we're hoping to get a few people just rocking up, going, oh, what's that over there? It's like an amazing beer festival. Get in.
Here it is. Look, walks into the middle of the recording just because we're sat at your table.
Bit an Omicron corner this.
Well, not at the moment, it's not. it's we're rocking it right now.
Don't mind me. Don't mind
No,
me.
you sit there. You carry on. You carry on drinking your fruit juice.
All over.
Yeah. So Tom's just walked in from being Omicron to annoy the hell out of us, and he's literally now sitting there watching us record. He's watching how the professionals do it. That's the thing. Okay, so where do you go from here? How do you? Is this going to become an annual thing now? How are you going to top this next year?
It would be amazing to make this an annual thing, and I would love to have the same role again. Fingers crossed. How I'm going to top it, I have no idea. I've got no tricks up my sleeve for next year, but I'm hoping staying in the role that I'm in within the bar. Hopefully, just keep on chatting to the right people, like making them connections, and just hopefully this time next year there'll be an equivalent of a barrel aged anagram waiting for me to wrap up and get in there, or there'll be breweries, like I need to mention there's been breweries that have been great enough to be like, right, what do you want? Like I'm going to bring up again Mad Hatter's Grenadini, the Grenadine Sour. they were literally going, oh, we could either do this or this. And I went, oh, the Grenadini sounds good. And they went, right, that's what we'll do. And they actually just took that as a decision. They're like, we'll do that because that's what you want from your festival, which I think is great. Ilkley did something similar. They were like, you know what, if you're wanting something summery, we'll do a Berliner Weiss for the event. And I was just like, that's pretty cool. So with that happening this year, if we did do this again next year, breweries have been so supportive in going, this is what you want, you know what, we can brew that, and then off they go, which is...
I suppose it's always important to get that first one done and out of the way and see what the reception's been like for it.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen, just in the first couple of hours here this afternoon, there's plenty of people out there enjoying the great range of beer that you get on.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, I'm back tomorrow as well, which is great. We get to try some different beers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wish you all the best for it becoming an annual thing and just growing and growing and growing.
I really hope so.
I'm not going to take up any more of your time because obviously you've got to be out there running a beer festival. Thank you so much for giving up your time.
That's
I really
absolutely fine.
enjoyed it.
Thank you for
Good luck.
chatting. Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks. Cheers.